The mission of the Operations Research Department at the Naval Postgraduate School is first and foremost an education mission. Our students are military officers from all the different U.S. services, as well as international officers that are invited by the U.S. government to study here. As part of that education mission, we run a world-class research program. We also provide analytical support to the U.S. Department of Defense. Many of the research projects that our faculty are involved on are real world. They are applied, they have immediate impact.
My background in the Navy is a surface warfare officer. So essentially what that means is I'm a manager on board a ship at sea. My research project was focused around analyzing how sleep deprivation affects our surface watchstanders on board a ship. What we were able to find is that using new watchstanding rotations, personnel perform better and they perform more consistently. And the real-world application here is that our men and women at sea are able to perform better because they're getting the rest that they need, and they feel better and they're happier about their jobs, and their minds are able to make those critical key decisions in those split-second reactions that are necessary sometimes in order to save lives.
Turns out that veterans and homeless go together, and I find that uncomfortable. I'm very passionate about the topic of helping veterans who are homeless. Veterans Village of San Diego is my sponsor. When I was able to combine my passion with this potential I have here from the skills I learned in NPS, I was able to make a mathematical predictive model that indicates whether or not a veteran is going to be at high risk of premature discharge from this program. It will enable the VVSD leadership to make more efficient and targeted interventions with those veterans who have a high risk of premature discharge from their treatment program.
Some of my research is based on something called biosurveillance, and biosurveillance is all about looking at health data to try to find outbreaks or, in worst case, bioterrorism attacks. It's all about looking through data for unusual events or anomalies. Our work here is important because it can actually help save human lives. Our goal in this project is to develop more efficient algorithms to detect outbreaks, the whole goal of which is to mitigate human suffering and mortality as a result of disease. So in the real world, the algorithms we're developing are actually being implemented in systems that are being run by the CDC and local public health departments for detecting disease outbreak.
For a lot of cases, real-world experiments are infeasible. So people do computer experiments. And the SEED Center, SEED stands for Simulation Experiments and Efficient Design. The mission of the center is to help people get the most possible information from those experiments. One of the most exciting things we're working on right now is we're working with forces in Afghanistan to explore various policy options. One of the ways we do that is through wargaming. But a live war game is a one-off event. And we want to take that war game, put it in a computer experiment, and then literally look at thousands of what-if questions. Ultimately, it's so that when we put our sailors and other forces in harm's way, they have what they need to accomplish their mission safely.
One of the things that we look at in the Center for Infrastructure Defense is how infrastructure systems will function in the presence of disruptions, whether they're deliberately caused or whether they come from non-deliberate sources. We helped the State of California Emergency Management Agency with an exercise called Golden Guardian that was looking at large-scale evacuation from massive flooding in the Sacramento River Delta.
I'm a research professor in the Operations Research Department, and my area of expertise is optimization. Well, it's been my pleasure to work now for almost 2 years on a project called the Replenishment at Sea Planning Model. The U.S. Navy this fiscal year will use in excess of 500 million gallons of fuel for its ships and aircraft. It's an advantage to us to be able to resupply these ships at sea efficiently, but this is a very, very complex problem. And we produced an optimization-based decision support system, which we've installed in Bahrain, Singapore, and next we'll be installing in Naples and in the United States. These will serve the U.S. numbered fleets around the world and can save a lot of money.
Our degree program started in 1951, And since that time, we've graduated over 4,300 students. A name that you might be familiar with is the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mike Mullen. He's spoken very highly of the degree that he's earned here at NPS.
I really sought an opportunity to get a graduate education, and I couldn't have gotten a better one than the one I got here. And what it taught me was how to frame very difficult problems. For the first time in my career, taught me what education was all about.